River Podcast.
Hello again, and a warm welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. We've got John here to go through everything Celtic. I'm Xander, so let's get right into this. Let's get started. First of all, how you doing, John?
I'm all right, aye. Enjoying the nice weather, eh?
Does it get any better? Does it? May, scorching. This is your summer, folks. This is where it's at. This is officially your summer. There's another week of this to go as well, so enjoy it while it's here. But no, John, it's going to be a lovely, nice sunny day for the party, the big party at Celtic Park on Saturday. And, you know, there's a lot of news surrounding this party, and there's after the game heading down to Glasgow City Centre. Celtic have released a statement saying not to attend unofficial gatherings. But, John, I think all that's going to do, the Glasgow City Council as well, coming out with statements also. But I think all that's going to do is, you know, increase the attendance 3 or 4-fold, John, because I think people are just going to be more determined to go down to Glasgow City Centre to party, to celebrate Celtic winning the league.
Aye, why not? Why not? Why should the Celtic fans not go down there and celebrate? Waited all season for it. All we've had all seasons had to listen to pundits going about Rangers this, Rangers that. Rangers are fantastic. There's some team, there's some outfit. So they expect us to just sit back and do nothing after listening to that for a full season. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's also the flip side of the coin is, you know, you always get these reports after it, don't you, about the 3 crisp packets that are lying about, you know, just, you know, try to give Celtic a bad name. You know, but large gatherings like that, John, you're always going to get a bit of rubbish lying about the street.
Oh, aye. You can't have, I don't know how many people's there, say between 50 and 70,000. I really don't know, but you expect everybody to be a wee angel. These people are here to celebrate and party. You get that at every single large gathering on earth. You're going to get a wee bit of litter left behind. It keeps Glasgow City Council busy after it. Give them a wee clean-up job for them, you know, keep them busy.
Yeah, keep them busy, aye. And then there's the safety element also in there with this orange walk. You know, I thought the kick-offs were at 3 o'clock this weekend, John, but they're not. They're at 12:30, and they're going to have their orange walk out as well. So all we can do is basically ask everybody to stay safe that's attending the big title party down in Glasgow City Centre, John.
Aye, well, this is it, isn't it? But why did the orange walk decide to... and we don't want to talk about them, but why do it on the day that Celtic are being handed the trophy and the Celtic fans are in party mode? Now, to me, that's just to take the sting off of Celtic. Try and take the sting off of winning the league and celebrating trophies and stuff. There's absolutely no need for them to be out marching. There's absolutely no need for it. Their season isn't here yet. That starts in July. Let them bang their drums or whatever it is they do in July. Let us celebrate the one chance we get to celebrate a year. I don't think it'll stop with Celtic fans anyway.
No, it certainly won't. But what bemused me the most about it is that the Glasgow City Council allowed the hatred walk to go ahead, John. That's what bemuses me. Why would they allow that when they know that there's going to be a large gathering in Glasgow City Centre? Right, John, we'll get back to that a wee bit later on, right? Because we will touch back on that again. We've not heard the last of that. But what we want to do is, like we always do, to start with the latest Celtic news, gossip, rumours, stuff like that, John. So let's get right into it. We're going to do the preview of the St Mirren game. I mean, the football, we haven't even spoke about the football yet, John. We've been on for 5 minutes, but we will do a full preview of the game as well. Celtic against St Mirren on Trophy Day. Right, John, news, and obviously the big one. Everybody's already spoke about it, but John, we did say on the preview of the Aberdeen game that we couldn't care less if we lose this game or draw or whatever, John. We couldn't care less as long as we come out of that game unscathed with absolutely no injuries whatsoever. And look what happens, John. We lose our main talent, our most talented player for the Scottish Cup final, Reo Hatate. absolute sickener for us, John. We've now lost Jota and Reo Hatate for the Scottish Cup final. I just sort of knew it was going to happen, John. I knew something was going to happen. And then, the actual tackle itself, John, on Reo Hatate, Pape Gueye, an animalistic tackle on Reo Hatate, John. I put the wee video on YouTube and Facebook. Celtic fans are angered with this. They really are. This tackle, one or two saying, it's a game of football. No. It's an absolutely animalistic tackle on Reo Hatate, John, with the sole intent to put Reo Hatate out of the Scottish Cup final to give Aberdeen an advantage.
I don't know if that's what's in that boy's mind when he's made that tackle to deliberately put Reo Hatate out the cup final, or is it just born out of frustration? Let's not forget, he's went right through James Forrest as well before they got to Hatate. And this player managed to find himself still on the park after that. I'm like probably 90%, 95% of Celtic fans totally bemused as to why that thug stayed on the park after that.
Absolutely, John. And the body language tells me everything. Everything. I'm not a body language expert, of course, but it tells me everything you need to know about that tackle, John. He more or less throws Forrest out the road to get to Hatate. And then when I put the video on, I've shown a close-up of his face. He's got gritted teeth, John, making that tackle against Reo Hatate. It's an absolutely sickening tackle. And all we can hope for, John, is that it's no another 9-monther like Jota, I think Brendan's come out and said he should be okay for the start of the new season. But even at that, John, it's still 2 or 3 months out on the treatment table. So it's an absolutely sickening tackle for me, that one. And I don't know if the SFA can give him, because it's dangerous play, John. You think about it. If it's dangerous play, it's a 2-match ban, which means he would miss the Scottish Cup final, which would be absolute karma for me.
Well, maybe the SFA should be looking at that. After the fact, it does happen. Have another look at that. Because I didn't see a player that was just trying to win the ball there. He knew exactly what he was doing there. Anybody can see that. He knows he's gone for the ball and the man at the same time. I'm getting this ball and I'm going to give my all to get it, and I'm going to get right through him. That's what was in his mind there. He intentionally tried to cripple Hatate there. Don't care what anybody says. I know we'll probably get people in the comments saying, you're talking nonsense. Of course, it's just a game of football. Get on with it. That was an animalistic tackle with intent to injure a player. And if that's not worthy of at least a 2-match ban, I don't know what is. He's put the boy out for months, Under.
Yeah, that's bad. And as I say, John, I sort of knew it was going to happen. I was glad when we saw that Brendan had rested more or less the full team, with the exception of 2 or 3. I was happy when I saw that, John, but when they started bringing on the main players with 10-15 minutes to go, that's when I started worrying, John. And it has come back to bite us, John. So we should have enough in the tank to still beat Aberdeen in the final. Look at what the reserve players done there at Pittodrie the other night there, John. No reserve, but the sort of the substitute players, John. Look at what they done against Aberdeen there the other night. Put them to the sword. An absolutely brilliant performance. We will touch on that later on as well, folks, but we're going to do the preview first of the St Mirren game, the party day. We'll do the preview first and then have a wee word on the Aberdeen game, John, if you don't mind. But we'll continue with the news, John. Let's move on from that disgusting tackle. There's not much we can do about it now, is there? There's not much more Celtic news. Maybe that if you want to have a wee word on this statement from Celtic, John, with regards to the gathering, what did you think of that? They're basically saying do not attend any unofficial gatherings due to safety reasons. Celtic are just more or less covering themselves with that. But, you're always going to get incidents at these large gatherings, aren't you? You're always going to get, some arrests, fights here and there, litter being thrown in the streets. It's just something that we need to get used to, because we're more or less winning the league every season, so this is going to happen every season.
Aye, exactly. There was one last season or the season before where a female Rangers fan, now Rangers fans were on saying, you can't behave yourselves and all that. The big party, Celtic fans are enjoying themselves. and a woman dressed in orange from head to toe started arguing with a Celtic fan, and some big rammy broke out. What Celtic fan dresses in head from toe in orange?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's, Rangers fans should stay well clear the Glasgow City Centre on Saturday, John. Obviously we can't tell them what to do, where to go, but for safety reasons they should stay clear, because it's going to be just a massive party, John, a massive gathering. And all we want to see and hear, John, is that there's no incidents. Everybody gets home safely. They enjoy their party, enjoy the moment, and celebrate the way the Celtic fans like to celebrate, John. Don't get involved in anything stupid, because we don't want any of these incidents tarred with Celtic as a club, do we?
No, we don't want any incidents anywhere in the city. Just hope it's a good day all over the city. The Orange Walk can have their meaningless walk and go home and celebrate it. Or whatever it is they do, I don't know. They can go home and celebrate that. Well, after the game, we can celebrate being champions, which I'm sure the Celtic fans will. I don't think anything is going to stop the Celtic fans celebrating this title party. Celtic Park first, then down to Glasgow Cross, as usual. 50,000 people there. You don't like it, stay away from the city centre.
Yeah, that's it, John. Just hope everybody stays safe on Saturday evening. Right, John? Talking about celebrations, the Italian Cup final. You're probably wondering where I'm going with this. BBC Beef of the Week number 2, John. That'll be 2 beefs in 1 week. BBC Beef of the Week. AC Milan 0, Bologna 1, or should I say AC Milan 0, Rangers 1, because Lewis Ferguson played in the game, John. Lewis Ferguson, Barry Ferguson's wee cousin, or whatever it is, Derek Ferguson's boy, whatever. He's part of the Ferguson family anyway. He played in the game, John. He's had a stinker of a season, but he played in this final. And because he played in this final, John, the BBC had a full 15-minute segment on Lewis Ferguson being part of this Bologna team that won the cup final against AC Milan, John. They had Italian experts going on about Ferguson. They had Italian fan bases on talking about Ferguson. It's just, that's their celebrations for this season, John.
Right. The guy's a donkey to start with, right? He's not a player. He's honestly an absolute donkey. I've never seen anything that took my way, that boy. No offence to the boy. He's doing well for his selling Italy. Good luck to the boy. But he's not even a half decent player. I honestly have no idea what Bologna actually seen and taking him to Bologna. Because when he played for Aberdeen, he never worried me anyway, and I'm sure he never worried any Celtic fans at all. Did he worry you?
Certainly not. Not in the slightest. I was happy to see him on the team, actually, to be perfectly honest with you. But no, John, it's not this boy's fault that the BBC's done this, right? It's not his fault. But what the reason why I'm bringing it up, right, is because when Celtic won the league officially last week or the week before, John, there was a 2-minute sort of a chat about it, Celtic winning the league, and a 2-minute sort of dedication to it, if you like, although it was the commentator, commentating on every goal that Rangers had scored against Celtic, but that was their tribute to Celtic winning the league. It lasted 2 minutes, but then they have a full, and honestly, John, I'm not lying when I say this, it was a 15-minute segment on Lewis Ferguson winning the Italian Cup. So that's what the BBC for you, John. That's what they're going to do. 2 minutes on Celtic winning the league and 15 minutes on a nobody, more or less, winning the Italian Cup. I mean, who cares, really?
He is an absolute nobody. And nobody cares a jot. Even the Rangers fans don't care. So I don't know why the BBC find it so interesting that an absolute nobody, a guy that worried nobody in Scottish football, has won the Italian Cup. It doesn't make sense to me why anybody would be remotely interested in that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I think as well, John. But I just the BBC for me, it's, I do listen to it now, actually, just to so I can come on here and explain to people the lack of respect for Celtic Football Club, John. It really is quite bad, and it's getting worse and worse the more successful Celtic as a club are. And talking about, clubs being successful, let's talk about one that isn't successful just for a wee minute before we get into the preview, John. And this is the Scottish press again, John. That's not just the BBC here. This is STV, the Evening Times, the Daily Record, the Sun, all your newspapers, all your press, John, had a major segment on this Ancelotti son going to Rangers as their new manager. Right, a couple of problems with that to start with, John. Right, one, he's done nothing. This guy Ancelotti has done nothing. He's been an assistant everywhere he's went. He's never been a manager. I've heard it all before coming from across the other side of the city, John, with these managers coming in. But for goodness sake, do your homework first before you start having full 2-hour phone-in programmes regarding this guy, John. Do your homework. This Ancelotti boy has now come out and said he's not interested in Rangers. He's going to stay where he is. He's going to follow his father over to Brazil and the national team. And we've just had 3 days of the Scottish press, the entire Scottish press, John, getting overexcited about this guy going to Rangers. They're more or less confirmed that he was going to Rangers, John. I mean, but for goodness sake, you've got to do your homework.
Well, this is just the way Rangers fans are. They get excited and they get ahead of themselves. And I'm talking about the press when I say Rangers fans, by the way.
Yeah.
But this is the way they are. They hear one wee bit of news and they're all on it. They all believe it. They all think it's going to happen. And they just get ahead of themselves. They're always going to win the league before the season starts and all that stuff. They're always saying next season, at the end of the season. They just get ahead of themselves and believe their own drivel, to be honest with you. That's why I don't listen to it. I know you listen to it to annoy yourself or whatever. Give yourself something to talk about on here, but I think you should just stay away from it, Xander.
No, John, because this has to be exposed. This lack of respect for Celtic has to be exposed. We can't just let it lie. I know we only get maybe 500-600 views per video, John, but that's 500 or 600 people that's listening to what we're saying. It's got to be exposed. This BBC, and not just the BBC, Sky, the other ones, STV, blah blah blah. But John, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. They more or less confirmed that Ancelotti is their new manager, and it came out the day that he's staying with his father, Carlo Ancelotti, over to Brazil as the national assistant manager, John, at Brazil. So good luck to Ancelotti at Brazil. John, it's absolutely hilarious, isn't it? I love it. Right, St Mirren, John, party day. Snow Flag Day, it's party day. Big party. Glasgow City Centre, we've already went through that, John, but it's also party day at Celtic Park, John, in the stadium. And in around the stadium, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be an absolutely beautiful day. 26 degrees in the sunshine. It just doesn't get any better than this, John, does it?
No. I think we played St Mirren, was that 2 seasons ago as well? Played St Mirren in the last day of the season, and it was a close game. I think it finished, was it 3-2 or 4-3?
Yeah, 3-2, I think it was, John. It was a brilliant game. I think we scored in the last minute. I think it was last season. I think you're right, John. I think it was last season. What a game that was. And it's St Mirren again. So they're going to put up a sort of a similar performance, aren't they? Because they've still got something to play for. They've still got a chance of Europe, John. The other results going their way as well, of course. But, if you finish fifth, it gets you into Europe, John. If they beat Celtic and Dundee United lose their game, then they've got a wee chance of qualifying for Europe, the Conference League, John. So it'd be nice to see them do it because they've had a brilliant season, St Mirren, but obviously we don't want them to do it because they're playing Celtic, John, and all we want is party day to be in full swing with a convincing win.
Aye, even if St Mirren win, it's not going to take the sting off of the season, is it? It's still going to be party season, party day. It's a meaningless game. It's a dead rubber, if ever there was a dead rubber. Same as the game against Aberdeen. Look, we can send a B team out and absolutely annihilate Aberdeen, and there's no reason why that same team can't show up at Celtic Park against St Mirren and turn them over as well. And you've got to remember, Aberdeen had something big to play for as well, and Celtic's B team made them look like an amateur team.
Yeah, what a performance it was there. Right, 10 minutes we'll get into that, John. We will get into that. because there's things to go through in that game as well, obviously. But no, John, I think St Mirren have had an absolutely brilliant season, and the wee Robinson, the wee manager, he's a good wee guy, he's a good wee manager. Puts in 100% every time he comes up against both of those teams. So, but I think it's going to be too much for them come Saturday, John. I think it's Celtic are just going to overpower them. It's been a brilliant end to the season, hasn't it, John? The last 4 or 5 games, taking Ibrox out of the equation, John, it's just been tremendous for the lads right up until Saturday, hopefully.
Aye, it's been a great season, aye. A couple of, like you say, a couple of wee dodgy results here and there. St Johnstone being a pretty bad one, getting beat by St Johnstone, and Ibrox, and the game against Sefco at Celtic Park. So there've been a few bad results. We've lost 4 games this season. Celtic, we've lost 4 games. 1 to St Johnstone, 2 to Rangers. And I've been racking my mind. Oh, Hibs, that was the other one, wasn't it, at Easter Road?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we will do a full look back on the season, John, once the Scottish Cup final is finished. We'll do a special podcast on that. Obviously, we do that every year, don't we? But no, John, it's been a tremendous season. But the last 4, 5, maybe 6 games, we've just upped it a wee notch, I think. And with these 4-0s, 5-0s, 5-1 against Aberdeen, and then we'll see what happens on Saturday in St Mirren. Let's go into it then, John. Let's get into the team news, etc. Starting with the officials, we've got David Dickinson as the man in the middle, the real deal. He's your man. You any jokes about real deals today, John?
No, really. Did Tino manage the game against St Johnstone when we get beat?
He did, aye. He did. He wasn't the real deal there, was he?
Oh, no, it's a dodgy deal.
Okay. And Callum Scott, he's the man on the VAR. I can't wait to get to VAR of this Aberdeen game, John, honestly. But anyway, let's not move away for this for the time being, John. Odds for this one doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter at all. 1-4 Celtic, 6-1 the draw, and 11-1 St Mirren to come away with the 3 points. So even the bookies are giving them no chance. But what do you expect with a team that's flying just now, John? They're going to be 11-1 at Celtic Park, especially on a special day like the trophy day. I mean, the big trophy getting handed over to Callum McGregor. Can't wait to see it, John. Can't wait. It's been a long wait since we've won the league, isn't it? Feels like it's been forever, but we're finally going to get our hands on this big trophy.
Aye, it's never been away.
No, it's always been there.
Aye, it's always a good day, trophy day, isn't it? That's why we play the long season, 38 games, to get our hands on that trophy again. And it's always a great day. But look, St Mirren, one of the tricky teams, very, very tricky team. I like St Mirren, I've got to admit. I think they're a cracking wee team. They're well managed. They play a good style of football as well. They try and keep it on the deck. They close down fast. So they'll have given their wee ideas are absolutely ruining that party for Celtic. No, that it will ruin the party. Nothing will take the shine off it. The season's over. It was over weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So nothing will take the shine off it. But St Mirren will give it a go. They'll try their best. But like every Celtic fan, we want to see Celtic turning up and winning well on Trophy Day and putting on a show for the Celtic fans in the last game at Celtic Park, Xander.
Yeah, that's it, John. This is the last league preview of the season. Hard to believe, isn't it? It really is. All right, John, let me quickly run through my predicted lineup for the Saints. Let me have a wee quick look at some of their players. I'll go with Hemming in goal, Fraser, Gogic, Taylor, Abuse, Phillips, Boyd, Munce, O'Hara, Declan John, Mandron, and Ayunga. That's my predicted 11 for St Mirren, John. Good strong team, good physical team, St Mirren as well, aren't they? They will give us a game, but obviously we'll get to predict in a wee minute. But what are you thinking, John, is Celtic lineup? I think he's going to go strong this one. It's the game before the cup final, isn't it? He's going to go as strong as he possibly can. We've got the players out, obviously. We've got Jota out long term, Hatate out long term, possibly. But yeah, we've got maybe some returning, possibly Carter Vickers returning. Johnston may start. Players that have been out for a few weeks, John. And obviously Casper, he's back as well, isn't he? So what's your predicted 11, John?
It's tough, isn't it? Last game of the season at Celtic Park. I think I agree with you. I think he wants to go with the players that's available now. I don't know if Carter Vickers is going to start.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to go with Schmeichel. I think Casper's going to start this one. Possibly Naroki. So he was outstanding against Aberdeen again.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Naroki to start this one with Liam Scales. Alistair Johnston, I think he'll get a run out. I think Alistair will start this one with Greg Taylor. Centre of the park. Sadly, we don't have Reo, or he would have started.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Callum, Engels, and I fancy Luke McCown for this one, Xander.
Yeah.
Up front, don't know if Dyson will maybe get a wee run out the more. I don't think he'll start. I fancy him to start with Yang again and Adam Ida, and the man that's still searching for that elusive goal. I think he'll get that tomorrow, actually, James Forrest. So I think he's going to start with Jamesy.
Yeah, that's it. That's. But maybe Naroki dropped again for Carter Vickers is the only thing I would say, and possibly Dyson if he's fit. He might get a game for the start because you want minutes in his legs for the cup final, won't he? So we'll wait and see what happens with the team lineup when it's announced at 11:30 on Saturday, John. We'll wait and see. But that sounds good to me, actually. That sounds good to me. We'll wait and see. But no, John, it's the performance against Aberdeen tells you he can put out whoever he wants on that park, John, and he's going to get a performance off them. As it stands anyway, go and be the performance against Aberdeen.
Well, aye, exactly. I mean, I wasn't expecting 5-1 at Pittodrie. I never predicted anything like 5-1 in the predictor. I think I predicted 2-0. I think you
2-0.
predicted 3-0 or something like that, or 3-1. I can't remember. But
yeah, you said 2-0, John. I said 2-1. So we both thought it was going to be quite close, but a Celtic win for both of us. But I never saw 5-1. But we'll get to that, John. Let's get into before we get into that, actually, just a wee quick predictor, right, John? We can do the predictor the now before we get into the Aberdeen game, because there's a wee bit to go through in that as well. We've still got comments to do. So, first of all, your prediction for the St Mirren game, John, what do you think?
Well, first I want to make a prediction before the game kicks off, because this is 7:20 right now, and you've got Livingston playing. Who is it? They're playing Partick Thistle tonight on the semi-final of the, the playoffs. I'm just going to quickly give you a prediction for that. Livingston won the last one 2-0 at Partick Thistle's ground, and I think they'll win the night convincingly, 3-1.
Yeah, well, I was looking at that as part of the predictor, John, but we'll skip to that now, as you say, because it's going to start. But I think Partick's going to win that one. And I think they're going to win 2-0. It's going to go to extra time, John. So there we go. You're saying, what did you say, John? 3-1, was it?
3-1 to Livy, aye.
You're just going to take a note of them, John, just so I don't need to listen back on the podcast, because I'm having to listen back on the podcast. So I'm taking a wee note of them. Right, John. Okay, fair enough. We'll wait and see what happens tonight. As regards to tomorrow, John, what are you thinking? I think it's going to be a convincing win, but what are you thinking, buddy?
I don't know about convincing. Well, I'm hoping it's going to be convincing. And if Celtic show up with that same attitude they did at Pittodrie, it's going to be convincing. They could do that. And just in case they do, I'm going to say 4-0 Celtic.
Yeah, 4-1. 4-1 for me and 4-0 for you. Okay, John, fair enough. Good luck to the boys.
Were you going to say 4-0, aye?
No, I was going to say 4-1, John. 4-0, sorry. I was going to say 4-0.
That's what I mean. I says 4-0. Were you going to say that until I said it?
Sorry, 4-0. I think St Mirren will score. I do think St Mirren will score. In fact, they might even score first, but we're showing our powers of recovery, haven't we? Especially against Aberdeen and Hibs, the last two games. John, Aberdeen equalised. Hibs scored first the week before, John. So we've got powers of recovery there. St Mirren may score first. Because these sort of parties always start quite slow, don't they? So, yeah, I think we're good enough to overcome that. Even if they do score first, John, I think we'll win 4-1. No, I wasn't going to say 4-0, John. I do think St Mirren will score in this one.
All right. Do you think James will get his goal?
No, I don't actually. St Mirren are a good, solid wee outfit, John. It's your sort of a main players that are going to get your goals. Your McGregors, your big Adam Eaters, your what do you call them, Dysons, you know, they're going to bang in the goals. We James, he sort of sets them up, didn't he? But hopefully this, John, hopefully we get a penalty or something and he can slot it away, something like that, John. But I don't think he's going to score from open play, and I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong as well. Anyway, that's our predictions for the game tomorrow. Xander 4-1, me 4-0. Next.
Yeah, okay, let's get into the predictor, John. You got one right in midweek there. Well done to you. So that's more or less confirms you as the champion between us two, John. But we need to wait to the Scottish Cup final just in case. But I think you're 3 ahead now. It's 16-13 to you, John. So well done getting I think it was the Ross County. It was the one you were going to change as well. It was 2-2. Remember you said, I'm going to change it. And then you said, no, I'll stick to 2-2 because you've never had one up before. And you got it, John. 2-2 Ross County game the other night. So well done. Congratulations. You're 3 ahead with 1 card to go and the Scottish Cup final, John. I can't see me getting 3 right and you getting none. But wait and see. Let's go through it. Dundee United against Aberdeen, John, on Saturday. Is there anything to play for here? Maybe European place for Dundee United, possibly. I'm not sure. But what do you think, John? United against a dreadful Aberdeen right now.
Aye, well, listen, if Dundee United beat Aberdeen, they move into 3rd spot. So I think there's all to play for in that game. It's an interesting game, to be honest, but it's a very interesting game. And there's all to play for in that one. Right now, probably 2 teams off form. But it's at Tannadice. I'm backing the Arabs here for a 2-1 win.
Right. Yeah, I've got it down here as 1 each for me, John. A draw in that one. Which means Aberdeen would qualify and finish in 4th place officially, wouldn't they? So a draw for me in that one, John. The next one's absolutely dead rubber. Hibs against Rangers, John. What do you think, buddy?
I think Hibs will want to go out on a high. I know they've already clinched 3rd place. Sevco, no man's land, can't do anything. That's the kind of games they thrive on, isn't it? Absolute nonsense. Means nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to back Hibs here and say 2-1 to Hibs.
It's a funny one, isn't it? You know, as you say, they like to celebrate dead rubbers, draws, things like that. So I'm going to say the draw, John, and I'm going to say 1 each. And that one for them to have the last day party. Kilmarnock Hearts, John, on Saturday also.
Kilmarnock Hearts. I'll just go for a Kilmarnock win. I don't often back Kilmarnock, but I'm going to go for a Kilmarnock win here to finish the season for them by beating Hearts 2-0.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Kilmarnock Hearts, Derek McInnes possibly going to Hearts. Will it even be in the dugout, John? That's the question. We don't know what's happening there. So it's a very, very dodgy one, isn't it? Kilmarnock at home. Yeah, I'll go for the Kilmarnock 1-0 to Kilmarnock, John. All right. Then we move into the bottom 6 on Sunday, which is strange. The bottom 6 is played it on a different day. Ross County against Motherwell.
Oh, Ross County are just so poor, aren't they? They got their last minute penalty, of course, against Dundee the other night there. Maybe give them a wee lift. But I just think Motherwell too strong for them. 3-1 Motherwell.
Yeah, it's County. I mean, if Ross County get beaten Dundee 1, then County go into the playoff because Dundee are 2 points ahead of Ross County. So County need to win and Dundee need to lose, more or less, for County to be safe. So I don't think that'll happen either, John. I'm going to say 2-1 Motherwell for me. All right, St Johnstone against Dundee, just spoke about it there. St Johnstone already relegated, didn't they? So good luck to them in the Championship. But, nothing to play for there for St Johnstone, but Dundee have everything to play for. I think a draw makes them safe, John, but there's only 3 goals and a goal difference as well. So if Ross County win 3-0 and Dundee draw, then it's dead even, John. I don't know what they do there if that's the case. But what are you thinking, John? Dundee against St Johnstone against Dundee?
I think this one's getting draw all over it. I'm going to go for another 2-2.
Yeah, there you go. You never know. That's a strange one, isn't it? St John. I'm going to go Dundee, John. 1-0 to Dundee. Why not? And that would mean they're safe, John. All right, just another couple of wee ladies' games to go through, John. Obviously, it's the ladies' title deciding weekend as well, isn't it? With the big one, Rangers against Hibs. It's hard to believe that Rangers have actually just sneaked up there with a chance to actually still win the league title, even though it's the last game and they're 3 points behind Hibs. They've still got a chance to win it, John, because of their superior goal difference. So, Rangers against Hibs, what are you thinking?
Aye, it's a tricky game. That Hibs have been flying this season. I think the Rangers ladies are going to beat them tomorrow, Xander, or Sunday, whenever it is. I think they'll win. I think they'll win the league. I'm going to go for a 2-0 the Rangers ladies.
Yeah, 2-0 to Hibs for me there, John. We'll wait and see what happens. Nobody actually knows, but
certainly hope so.
Yeah, that's it. We just hope that the strong Hibs that have been there all season turn up on Sunday, and pressure doesn't get to them, anything like that, John. But we'll wait and see. And the last one, obviously, last ladies' game of the season, Celtic against Motherwell. Doesn't mean anything, John. What do you think?
2-0 Celtic.
Yeah, Motherwell quite poor, aren't they? I'll say 4-0, John. 2-0 and 4-0. Right, okay. That's it. That's a predictor. All wrapped up, done and dusted. Last league predictor of the season. And the last predictor we'll do is the cup final, obviously. But we'll wait and see what happens this week, John. So good luck to all the teams, including Hibs ladies and Hibs men's team as well. Good luck to both the Hibs teams. Right, John, let's get into this Aberdeen game then. This was it was a good game, wasn't it? Until the Reo Hatate injury. The fans were buzzing up right up until the injury. They're buzzing after it as well, because they didn't know the extent of that injury, did they, at the time? But the Celtic fans, absolutely tremendous. The manager was raging with that tackle. I put the interview on Facebook and YouTube, John. I also put on a wee special video with the tackle as well, John. A lot of views there, a lot of people angry with this tackle. Let's touch on it again, John. For me, it was 100% intentional. But the biggest and the saddest thing about the whole thing is Reo, who's played every game this season, John, misses the showpiece game at the end of the season.
You're missing 2 showpiece games, the final and the trophy day, the Mora.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel really sorry for him. I feel bad for him. I was reading his wee thing about his family and all that, what his mother means to him, and she watches every game he plays. And sadly, she'll not get to see him strutting about on the Celtic Park or the Hampden Park surface this season. So I feel really bad for him. I feel really bad for Reo. Celtic fans all love him. Great wee player. And aye, he's fallen foul to an absolute thug. And the guy never even went over to make sure he was okay. A gentleman like Reo Hatate, who's walking about making sure every player's okay, and this absolute animal doesn't even go over to make sure Reo's okay. That's sickened me, that tackle, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and there was a few tackles like that in the game, John. There was a few left on Celtic players. They were out to put out as many Celtic players out of the cup final as possible, John. I mean, I can say it. I don't care what people say about me saying that. I couldn't care less what people say, but I know for a fact that the intention was get the players out there to get as many Celtic players out of that cup final as possible, John. And the fact that Celtic players are dodging these tackles, Reo was unlucky, obviously. He couldn't get out of the way of that one, so he was out. But there was a lot of late tackles in this one, John.
I don't remember anything as bad as that, mind you, but there was a few Aberdeen players were flying into a lot of stuff. Obviously, they couldn't get close to Celtic. I think the half-time instructions was get closer to them, make yourself known that you're actually there. Never done them any good. They still get absolutely scalped. And a word on their fans as well, with their disgusting songs yet again up there. Now I'm getting sick of this. Up at this Pittodrie, they're getting as bad as Sefco with their songs. That mob. I'm starting to take a big dislike to Aberdeen, Zander.
Yeah, when the emergency in the crowd, John, when the fans were waiting on the emergency to pass, the fan that had the physios had to go up to the fan in the crowd, John, and help him, and then he took away, and we hope he's okay, obviously. But the songs they were singing during that, well, this guy's getting treatment, John. Well, this guy's getting treatment in the stands. The game was paused for 5, 7, maybe even 10 minutes, John, and they're singing the song that starts with P. We've heard it 1,000 times. I don't understand why they're doing this, John. All the fans, or most of the fans in Scotland, are singing this towards the Celtic supporters. And no apology again from Crocker. It's loud and clear. You can hear it, crystal clear. But what was sickening about it, John, was they're singing it while this guy's getting treatment.
Well, they were singing it all through the game. That's the level that these people have stooped to. They're stooped to Rangers fan levels. It's unbelievable, and it's a shame because I used to like Aberdeen, but see now I've went right after them, Zander, after that. I've heard that the last time we played them as well. They're doing it all the time, disgusting songs. If that's their level, then they'll not get my support ever again. Simple as that. Just filthy. And I hope the Aberdeen fan, I don't know what happened to him, but I hope he's okay. Like he says earlier as well, don't want anything happen to any fans. But we also don't want to hear stuff like that getting sung at Celtic. It's just vile, you know what I mean? It's just sickening, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's pathetic, isn't it? Right, John, let's get into some of the performances then, John. You mentioned earlier on Naroki. What a player this guy is, John. Big Naroki. That's 3 or 4 games now that he's played. He's came in when players have been out injured. Scales injured, Carter Vickers injured, Trusty injured. He came in and stepped in, John, and done a stellar job for Brendan and Celtic, John. He's a top class defender as far as I'm concerned.
It was a wee bit kind of, I wasn't that sure about him when he first signed, but he's only just in the door. You've got to remember as well, give the boy a bit of time. But I think we're starting to see the best in the Rocky at the right time in the season. And I would certainly rely on him should any of our main defenders get injured. I'd be more than happy to see him stepping in and taking. I think he's going to be a star for Celtic next season, Zander. I love him.
He's a brilliant player, John. He wins everything absolutely everything in the air, John. And I don't want to say anything about any Celtic player because they're wearing that jersey, John, and they're doing a job for Celtic, and they're serial winners, every one of them. But I think he's just a wee step above Big Trusty. Maybe Trusty needs that time as well, John, to settle into the team and the club and everything about Celtic. Maybe he just needs that extra season. You might see a better season out of Trusty next year, John. But for what I've saw with Naroki, he's absolutely outstanding, and he's doing a brilliant job in there.
Oh, aye. I mean, I agree with you on Trusty. I just think he looks like a drunk stork sometimes. Big Trusty, I was watching at half time when the players are kicking the ball about the park. The teams were coming out for the second half, and the camera went on to the Celtic players passing the ball amongst each other. Mm-hmm. And I watched him passing the ball to what's his name, Kasper Schmeichel, and he was only about 5 yards, and he totally kicked his pass about 5 yards in the opposite direction to where Kasper wanted it. So look at the state of this guy, even in training.
Yeah,
he doesn't look good. No offence to the big guy. To me, I've said it before, I just don't think he's Celtic quality. I hope I'm proved wrong, and next season he becomes a star man and has an absolute blinder. But me personally, I can't see it. I don't rate him.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's been dropped and Scales have been put back in, John. There's a reason for that, and it maybe just needs time, as you say, John, to settle into the sort of a fishbowl of Glasgow. Maybe that's something to do with that. But we'll wait and see what happens next season. But he is still our player, John, so we wish him the best of luck. Yang, another brilliant performance from Yang. Every time this guy plays, he plays a blinder. He's getting better and better, Yang, isn't he?
Definitely. And by the way, I hope Trusty comes good next season. It might just be, again, settling in. But when I watched him training, I was like, oh, come on. Mm-hmm. How did you get signed for Celtic, basically? But, these things happen in training as well, I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from Trusty, all the best to you, big man. I hope you come good next season. Yang, I thought he was outstanding, Xander. I thought he put in a top performance, Yang. Lucky not to get his legs snapped a couple of times, but outstanding performance. Got his goal as well, the wee man. Always pleased with a smile on his face. Great performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. It just puts in we've lost Jota and he's came in, he's done a good job, and we've got Forrest there as well. I like touching them and all. It's just rolling back the years just now, isn't he? He's absolutely tremendous, young Forrest. Get down that line, inside, outside, putting in great crosses as well, John, into the big strikers that we've got there, John. Absolutely tremendous, John. Brilliant. What a player we Forrest is. And we do hope he gets his goal on Saturday against St Mirren or in the cup final, John. We hope he gets his goal before the end of the season. But no. He just looks as though he's rolling back the years for me, John.
He's a bit slow chasing back, but you've got to expect that, He's maybe not get the energy that Nicholas Kuhn will give you chasing back. But what he does going forward, over 20, 30 yards, he still get the pace. You've seen him leaving a few Aberdeen players for dead, Shinnie, etc. Flying past him, getting to the touchline and whipping in great crosses. He was doing it all night. It was absolutely outstanding. In the forward positions, Jamesy Forrest, man of the match performance basically for me, Xander. It was out of this world. And at 33, he's earned a song from the Celtic fans as well.
There you go, Jamesy. Wee legend. Absolutely superb, John. Okay, goals. The goals were Naraki. Brilliant. Big guy's brilliant. Yang obviously gets his goal also, didn't he? Luke McCowan managed to grab himself a goal, John. Big Adam Weeder got a goal in the last kick of the ball. But Johnny Kenny, John, we did mention Johnny Kenny in the preview of the last game. I thought he was decent. Johnny came on against Rangers and done no bad the last 5-10 minutes as well. Johnny finally gets his goal. But Kenny looks decent to me, John.
He looked decent the other night. I definitely did. Enjoyed his performance. Took his goal well. That was a brilliant goal. What a take that was. Right into the corner of the net. Keeper scrambling across, never get close to it. Johnny Kenny, only 21 years old. That boy's got potential, Xander. Is he going to be a regular at Celtic next season? I don't think so, no yet. I think Celtic will be looking to bring in another striker. But you just never know. He may well be. If he starts putting in performances like that every game, he definitely will be. So he might save Celtic a bit of money, should he please Calstrate.
Yeah, he looks he knows where the net is, let's put it that way. And he can hold that ball up also, John. He's good in the air. He's got quite a bit there. He's got a bit to offer Celtic. That's why we signed him.
He's quite tall as well, isn't he? About 6 feet maybe.
Yeah, he's quite tall. He's got that physical presence about him, like Big Adam, John. It's just two sort of similar strikers at there, but he's just a young lad. I know he does just a young lad and all, but we're in good hands there, John, with the two forwards we've got there. But unlike you, John, I think we will sign another striker in the summer. Right, John, that about wraps it up anyway, John. I don't know if you want to give us a wee man of the match. Who was your man of the match against Aberdeen?
I certainly will. Sinisalo, by the way, what a performance he put in. I know he had a few good cracking saves the other night, Sinisalo. I thought he had a star performance as well.
Aye. We're in safe hands with him, John. Absolutely. He's going to be our number one goalkeeper eventually, John, when Casper hangs up the gloves. He will be our number one goalkeeper. There you go, John. What do you think of that?
I can see it. I can definitely see it. He looks comfortable now with the ball at his feet and all that stuff as well. He looks quite composed and calm, passing it out for the back. Top performance from him. Thoroughly enjoyed watching him the other night. Well done, Sinisalo. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, he's good. He's very good. Right, man of the match, John. What do you think? Who was your man of the match against the Dismals?
Against the Dismals, possibly I could only give it to James Forrest, Sander. I thought he was outstanding. A few good performances in there though, wasn't there? Naroki, Sinisalo, Cal McGregor had a great game in his own. Absolutely outstanding Cal Mac was. Johnny Kenny, Yang, all had good games. Luke McCowan. I thought every player played fantastically well. It was a kind of 8, 9 out of 10 performance for all the players, but my man of the match is Jamesy.
Aye, James Forrest. I'm trying to think, John, back to the game, who stood out. James definitely stood out for me. I'm like you, John, Naroki as well. And I'm going to get to Naroki, the boy who has came in from the cold, had done a brilliant job, especially against Aberdeen, John, up at Pittodrie. You've got to remember who we're playing. Who we're playing against and where we're playing up at Pittodrie. Always a tough place to go. And he's also playing in a sort of B team, if you like, as well, John. So I'll give it to Naroki. He was my man in the match. With another stunning goal and all. What a power header as well. It's good to, get these sort of goals for corner kicks, power headers, John. It's we've missed that a wee bit, haven't we?
Definitely missing goals from corner kicks. We still haven't got anybody that can take a free kick. There's Bernardo took one, absolutely hopeless. We need somebody that can take a free kick, by the way. But anyway, that's nothing to do with what we're talking about. Naroki, star performance. I could have went to Sinisalo as well. I thought he was outstanding. I've already mentioned the players I thought were good. It's a fair shout. Sander Naroki, or Navrosky, as commentators call him. I call it as I see it. It's spelled no, N-A-W, like saying no in Scotland. No. It's, to me, that's, I say it as I see it. No, Rocky. No, not Navrosky. I don't call him that. The Rocky sounds better to me.
It's Naroki. It's Naroki to everybody. So, good performance for the big man anyway, and keep up the good work, Naroki, and you'll not be too far away from the first team next season. Right, John, that wraps up the Dons. That's it. Done, dusted. We've wrapped up St Mirren. We've done the news, the rumours. We've done everything. We've done everything we need to do. Last game of the season, John. Just a wee final thought for you then before we get into a few comments, John. What's your feelings? Sad? Looking forward to next season? What's your overall thoughts right now, John? The last preview of the league season.
It's funny, isn't it? Because during the season you're thinking, when will this league end? I want to get there and get this league wrapped up. Then when it finishes, you're the opposite. I feel sad because it's over. It's a long season, isn't it? But it's as what it is. Celtic's won the league again. I did feel sad watching the game at Aberdeen, knowing at the end of the season the season's come to a close. I got that wee sad feeling. It was in the sun. The Celtic fans were in party mode. I felt sad about it, but watching it, I also had a great feeling of delight, knowing how happy everybody involved with Celtic is. Under me, you, every Celtic fan, Brendan, all the players, all playing with a smile on their face. Just a great night, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it. Celtic in the sun. The league's already won. Now we're back to the final game of the season. And it's the moment we've all been waiting for, isn't it? The big trophy lift. But followed by a long 3 months away from it. But I'm delighted overall, Sander. Very, very happy. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, well said, John. Good summing up there, actually. That's absolutely tremendous. What a feeling to be a Celtic supporter just now, John. Right, John, while I'm mentioning the competition for next season, if you want to dig up some comments, John, don't know if you want to go into the Hatate video or whatever, John, but it's up to you. You decide. I'll go through the competition. And the competition for next season is very simple, folks. It's a league table, a correct score league table, and it's just the Celtic game every week. If you can guess the correct score, you get 3 points into the league table. Simple as that. So whoever's at the top of the league table at the end of the season One's the big basket of Celtic goodies, which consists of Celtic football, Celtic pens, Celtic lighters, Celtic keyrings, Celtic Legends frame prints, Celtic metal wall plaques, just a whole load of stuff in this basket, Celtic related stuff. It's a great prize, it's up for grabs, and all you have to do is enter the competition. We've got 10 entries so far, we're looking for 30. And just into the comments, type your name and competition entry, and that'll be you into the competition. It's free of charge. We don't make any money out of it whatsoever. If anything, it costs us money. So get into the competition, folks. Get internet into the comment section, and the first 20 will be accepted. And after that, the competition closes. So good luck to everybody with that. And just one more wee final thing, John. The competition, if there's more than one, player at the end of the season with the same amount of points, it will have to go to a prize draw. So that's the competition for this season, buddy. Okay, comments, John. What have you got for us, buddy?
All right. First up was James Doran. We're on the Hatate video, like he says, because there's quite a lot of comments on that. James says, delighted for Kenny with his goal, and I thought he played well tonight. I agree with that, James. I thought he was outstanding.
What a player we've got there, John. He's finally getting his chance. As I said, I saw wee signs of it at Ibrox. He came on, he held that ball up, and he was unlucky with a chance as well at Ibrox. But no, I saw wee signs, and I see big improvements in that boy. So yeah, I think we've got a good striker on our hands there, James.
Aye, absolutely. I enjoyed his performance anyway. Thanks, Jamesy boy.
Cheers, James.
Next up was another James Daly. James Daly says Forrest was the best player on the park. I agree with that, James. I think Forrest was brilliant.
Yeah, you're man of the match, John, wasn't he? I don't know who the sponsor's man of the match was, but he's your man of the match anyway, John, and he was absolutely tremendous. And he played the full game, didn't he, as well? So he's got energy in his legs, John. There's no issue there with his age or anything like that. As you say, he was running by players, 25-year-olds, 24-year-olds, as if they weren't there, John. So he's a legend, and I see the winner for a reason. Thanks for the comment, James.
Oh, he's a legend. Who was it that says, was it Charlie Mulgrew was saying it full time about James Forrest? He says he's all, what does it says? He's all shoulders and no neck, but he's a legend. Because Charlie Mulgrew says, I'd love to see the statue of James Forrest at Celtic Park because it'll be all shoulders and no neck.
Hey, James. He's got that sort of funny style of running as well, hasn't he? He's both his arms out wide, and he's just a brilliant wee player. He has his wee ways, he has his wee funny way of running, and he's unique, shall we say. Wee James is just unique, and we will miss him, John, when he's not at Celtic. We definitely will miss the wee man.
Definitely. He reminds me of Maradona. I'm not saying he plays like Maradona. Far from it, I'm not saying that. The way he runs, his running style, and the big shoulders and all that.
Yeah.
That's why it reminds me of Maradona. Anyway,
Yeah.
Aberdeen fans singing about Savile the other night here as well. Sander, I thought I'd bring that up. Forgot about that. That was one of the other disgusting songs.
Yeah, it's just vile, John. They're just a vile support. That's it. That's what they are, as you say, just the same as the Rangers, John. So nothing we can do about it, but bring it up, I suppose.
Anyway, next up was Thomas McFarren. Sorry, just no McFarren, it's just Farren. Thomas Farren says, Micardo. First time I saw the lad, what a touch and movement. I thought I forgot about him. Wee Micardo, I thought he was brilliant, Sander. He looked like a right good wee player. I've seen him a few times in the Celtic B team, but he's a crank wee player. I just thought he looked like he fitted right in at Celtic.
Aye, it's good to see the young boy coming on. Fantastic getting his wee cameo appearance, John. Another player that, if he continues like that, John, he's not going to be too far away from the first team, is he?
Definitely no. I think he's got the potential to be another decent Celtic youngster that maybe make it through the ranks. But we say that about a lot of players, and it doesn't happen. But anyway, Ian King thinks the same. He thinks Micardo looks the business. Great touches and vision. I thought he was good as well. Ian, I thought he was good.
Yeah, I also played the hand in one of the goals, didn't he? So he's a decent young lad, and he's Brendan's got an eye for a player, John. Let's not be mistaken. He knows a decent player when he sees one, and he'll give the boys a chance. So if you're given that chance, be the manager, you've got to take it, John. And young Micardo looks as though he's going to take his chance.
Well, we certainly hope so, because we've not had a youngster break through the ranks and make it at Celtic since Callum McGregor. So let's fingers crossed that he does it.
Yeah, that's it, John. Good luck to the young boy McAldo, son. You good luck to him. Decent player.
I definitely agree there, Xander and Ian. Anyway, next up was Kyle. Or is it Kyler? Sorry. I don't know if it's Kyler Hattigan or Kyle. No, it's definitely Kyle. Kyler Hattigan. It's because it's all squashed up in the one name. It's no separated. So it's Kyler Hattigan says, fair play to all the fans coming from Ireland to Aberdeen on a Wednesday night. I agree with that, Kyler. I think that was it's amazing to see that, the Celtic fans travelling away up there on a Wednesday night from probably all sorts of countries around the world for the small allocation that Celtic fans get there. And I also noticed something about Pittodrie I never noticed before. Half of that a wee tiny away section doesn't even have a roof, Sander. So if it's raining, the fans have just got to stand there getting soaked. That's pathetic.
I know, it's funny you should mention that, John. I noticed that. I noticed that for the first time, actually. You know, I've never been in Pittodrie. I'm going to put my hands up. I've never been in it. Never been anywhere near it. In fact, I think I've ever been in Aberdeen once in my life. But I noticed that the other day when I was making the video, and wee James Forrest was doing his wee dance at the end. No roof, John, and that's obviously been the case since, you know, Pittodrie was built. Let's be honest. So every away supporter that goes up there gets soaked. I mean, come on, put a roof on there. It's about 40 feet wide. You know, get a roof on there. They start protecting the away supporters, not just Celtic, all the away supporters that go up to Pittodrie. I noticed that myself, John. That's quite pathetic, isn't it?
Aye, they should have a roof on it. Every away fan should be looked after when they go to stadiums, Xander. It is pathetic. A wee tiny section like that, and they can't put a wee bit of corrugated iron on the roof to protect the fans, stop them getting soaked in the freezing cold winter's nights, especially up in Aberdeen, Xander, where it's freezing, snowing and all that stuff. But they don't mind letting the away fans just getting soaked. Look after your away fans. Every other stadium in Scotland does it. How can you not do it?
Yeah, that's quite bad. I don't think there's an away section in the country that doesn't have a roof on it. It's quite bad. It's the first I noticed that, John. First I've noticed that. I've never heard the Celtic fans complaining about it, mind you, but it's the first I've ever noticed it. So get it sorted, Aberdeen. Get the away fans protected for the elements up there. And as regards to the comment, John, the comment, yeah, the Celtic supporters are up there at Pittodrie on a Wednesday night. Well done to them all. And that B section was packed out. So well done to them all. And Celtic fans will follow us no matter where it is, John, no matter what time it is. You know, Celtic fans will be there.
Oh, absolutely, aye. Doesn't matter if they're getting soaked and no looked after and getting sectarian abuse slung at them. Aye, they still enjoy themselves. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle. Cheers, pal. Thanks for coming.
Brian Murray says, young McAldo looks the business. We've already discussed that, Brian. And you're absolutely right, mate. I totally agree with you. He does look the business. What I've seen so far, anyway.
Yeah, what's the business? As you say, we've already discussed that. But no, Celtics fans appreciate it, don't they? So thanks for the comment, Brian. Cheers, buddy.
LGCFC says, Jamesy boy's a legend. He certainly is.
Yeah, 100%. He's a legend. He's goes without saying. That statue may eventually go up there, John. That's a possibility. There's no joke there. I think there could be a statue of wee Jamesy, to be honest with you, John. Eventually.
All shoulders and no neck.
You know, he's the wee man's stature is probably what's actually helped him at Celtic. You know, that sort of a upper shoulder strength, you know, when running by players, John. I think he's, as I said before, John, but we are going to miss James Forrest. You know, you look at Jota being out injured, and the wee man Forrest has stepped in, and we've not really missed Jota, let's be honest. Obviously, we miss him. It's better to have him on the park than on the park, but John, the wee man and Yang have both stepped in and done a brilliant job since Jota got injured.
Aye, definitely. I totally agree with that. I think James is a legend. And I think he's going to be there for another couple of seasons. I've got just a funny feeling about that. He's going to be one of these boys that plays till he's 35 or something. I really don't know. We'll wait and see with that. Anyway, thanks for your comment.
Cheers,
LG CFC.
Yep.
We would never sell a club dominant display from start to finish with a second string Celtic side, and great to see Kenny scoring an outstanding header and will no doubt boost his confidence and definitely play some part against St Mirren on Saturday.
I think he'll play a part against St Mirren, John, as well. You know, he might even start. You never know, because will he want to wrap big Adam Weeder up in Cotton Mill for the final? Who knows, John? Who knows? But he might start. We don't know. We don't know yet. We'll wait and see. But you know, he's a good player. He's a decent player. Both our Irish strikers are decent players, John. So, you know, I don't think we're ever going to see them in the same team together, John. They're too similar, aren't they?
Aye, they're a bit similar, and I don't think we'll ever see them in the same team. But you never know. You never know what injuries could bring, Xander. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. Never say never, but hopefully no. Hopefully we can keep all our players free from injury. Thanks for that. We would never sell a club.
Yeah, cheers, pal. Thanks for the comment.
One of your legends there, Xander.
Yeah, one who would never sell a club. Legend, 100% legend. Great commenter as well. Always brings up great comments, John. And just a wee quick word, John, on the injury situation. What we don't want on Saturday is any more injuries. Absolutely not one more injury. With Reo missing, Jota missing, John, we don't want to be losing a Callum McGregor or a Dyson or anybody for that matter. Kuhn, we don't want to lose anybody for the Scottish Cup final. We want to come out there tomorrow night with the full team intact.
Exactly. I mean, it's only Aberdeen. We've got a B team to take care of them. Final.
Aye, the players maybe want a wee bit of, that's maybe added fuel to the fire for the Celtic boys. Not that they needed it in any way, John, but for that to happen to Reo Hatate, the Celtic, that will anger the Celtic players. They'll want to win that cup for Reo, definitely, 100%. I know they already wanted to win it, but that will definitely add fuel to the fire for me.
Oh, 100%, Xander. You seen how angry Brendan was? He was fuming with that, and I've never seen Brendan Rodgers like that. He was absolutely raging with it, and rightly so. I just can't believe that any Celtic fan would say, it's a game of football, get on with it. Get a grip of yourself, pal. It was a filthy tackle.
Yeah. There's not many people saying, get on with it, it's a game of football, John. There's not many. I saw a comment, somebody saying that he got the ball first. So, if he gets the ball first and then pulls out a gun and shoots him, is that all right? Because he gets the ball first, John, doesn't make it a less animalistic tackle. You can touch the ball and still follow through and cripple a player, snap his leg in too, John. It's an absolutely pathetic comment, to be honest with you, to make.
I've seen people saying Hatate pulled out it. It's nothing to do with Hatate pulling out it. He's tried, of course he's pulling out it. There's a big animal charging towards you at 300 miles an hour. What do you want him to do? Anyway, moving on. James Doran says, great win for the Celtic B team. The Scottish Cup's in the bag. Let's hope so, James.
Yeah, it's, as I say, John, that's added fuel to the fire. James, you're right. Scottish Cup is in the bag, we think. We can't take nothing for granted. Obviously, anything can happen in 90 minutes. Sendings off, goals disallowed. We've saw it before in the past, John. But for that Aberdeen team to turn up, for that Aberdeen team to turn up at Hampden next week, John, they will be demolished.
Well, let's wait and see. Let's hope at the end of the game, if Celtic are winning 4-0 or something, somebody puts a dirty tackle in on Big Papa. See how he likes it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I can't believe the intent in that guy's face when I zoomed in, and his face is gritted, teeth tight together, John, gritted, wanting to cause harm and hurt to his fellow professional, John. Disgusting.
Absolute animal. Derek Smith says 20 different goal scorers this season. All we want is James Forrest on the list. Can he do it? I think so. I think so as well, Derek. I think he's going to score the Mora.
He'll be desperate to score the wee man. I don't know, John. I hope he does. I can't see him unless we get a penalty or something, John. I think he's more of a player that he doesn't cut inside too much and hit a shot, does he? Like Kuhn does, like Dyson does. He's sort of more of a crosser of the ball, isn't he? But sometimes he gets into the position. Sometimes he does. I'm talking about the new in his latter years, John. Obviously, he scored a lot of goals in his earlier years, John. But right now, he's sort of sticks to his position, doesn't he? They hopefully can get into some position against St Mirren, John, and bag yourself that wee goal. That'd be absolutely brilliant for the wee man.
Get a wee fiver on it, Xander. I'm backing it. I'm not putting a bet on, but I think he'll score the goal. Definitely. Hopefully he'll keep it for Aberdeen, actually.
Yeah, John, you never know. It's the Celtic players will be desperate for him to score a goal as well, John. They'll maybe be trying to set him up for that goal, but I don't know, John. I just don't know. I hope he does do it, John. I hope he does.
Well, let's hope so. Dan Fallon was up next. Dan Fallon said, well said, Brendan, on the supporters. Without them, nothing matters. Supporters are amazing. Celtic fans have always been amazing, Dan. And I think Wednesday night, they were out of this world, the Celtic fans.
Aye. Celtic fans are tremendous, John. I noticed that Sky, again, actually put their mics away from the crowd again, John. I don't know what that's all about. Why they're keeping the mics away from the Celtic supporters, but they've got the mics at the filthy Aberdeen supporters with their vile songs, John. So I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on with Sky Sports, but yet again, John, mics away from the Celtic fans.
Aye, well, as what it is, isn't it? Nothing you can do about it. I'd rather keep the mics away for the Celtic fans because the Celtic players can hear them. That's all that matters. But what we want to see is the fans protected by getting a roof over their head at that dumpy stadium.
Aye, absolutely. But that's not going to happen, John. They've had that. They've had that roof situation for that stadium was built. So no roof. It's not going to happen, John. I don't think it's ever going to happen anyway. Celtic fans have been up there for decades, John, and getting absolutely soaked. And by the way, the odds on James Forrest scoring a goal, John, is that the first goal scorer? Let me have a wee look. Anytime goal scorer I'm looking for. To score the first goal, John, James Forrest is 9-1. Right, that's just the first goal. But let me have a wee look at, see if there's an anytime goal scorer. Just 2 seconds, John. Oh, okay, shots, home goals. There we go, half time. Last goal scorer, anytime goal scorer. Right, let's have a look, John. Anytime goal scorer. We've got James A at, it's only 2-1. Can you believe that, John? 2-1 for James to score any time in the game, and 91 for James to score the first goal, John. So what do you think of that?
2-1. I'll keep my fiver in my pocket then.
That's quite bad, isn't it? For me, James to score any time, 2-1. Pathetic. There you go.
There you go then. But anyway, let's move on with these comments, Sander, because time's getting on. I'll not be backing James to score a goal. But I will be backing him, but I ain't putting money on it.
No. Me neither.
Next comment was Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze says, young Ricardo is a baller. I hate that term. I cannot stand it when people say that, Xander. Nothing against you, Johnny Blaze, by the way. You're probably a nice guy and all that, but see that term, baller, I cannot stand it.
That doesn't bother me, to be honest with you. It's in one ear and in one part of my, the other, John. No, it doesn't bother me.
It's two Americans, Xander. I can't stand it. He's a baller. Garbage, you know what I mean? Just don't use that part or anybody. I can't stand it. You can say it to annoy me if you want. If I see it again, I'm not reading anybody's comment with it.
Right, okay. He is a baller, John. He's a tremendous player, John. What else can we say, John? I don't think he'll be starting on Saturday. I don't think he's going to rest many players, or sorry, I don't think he's going to start many of the sort of reserve players, if you like, John, the substitute players. I don't think he's going to start with many of them. I think he's going to go full strength on Saturday, John. So you might see these boys coming on that have done a brilliant job against Aberdeen. You might see them coming off the bench with maybe 20, 15 minutes to go, I think.
Bring a couple of ballers on.
Get the ballers on the last 15 minutes when the game's already won.
Oh, it just sounds cringy. But every time I hear that, I cringe. If I see somebody saying it in a comment like baller, oh, beat it. Like I says, who was it? It says it, Johnny Blaze. You're probably a nice guy. Just don't use that word. It's too. There's a lot of bad things have came over here from the United States, and that's one of them. That word, baller. Can't stand it, Xander. Anyway. And next up was Roseanne. She's a baller in the comments section. She's always there, top notch.
Yes, she is. Always there. Always leaves her comments. What a baller she is as well, John.
Anyway, get away for that crap word. Roseanne says, well done to our Tigers tonight. I think somebody left a comment under it saying it was the Cubs tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. That's quite good. I like that. It was the Cubs, no the Tigers. But they played like Tigers, didn't they, John? The Cubs played like Tigers. Shall we say that? Keep the two of them happy, John. Yeah. Aye, brilliant. What a performance.
You could say the boys became men.
Boys became men, John. Absolutely, the boys became men. What a performance! I think it was 8 changes all in, wasn't it? 8 changes from the game before. So absolutely brilliant performance for every one of them, John. Every one of the guys that started, and even the ones that came on as well.
Shinny shaved his beard off. Do you think he would look like Marty Feldman?
I don't know. I've never really looked at his eyes.
I do. Every time I see him, I'm looking like this Marty Feldman, man.
Well, what I've got, John, I've got my editor. I've got my editing app. Obviously, it's not free. You can't get it for free, folks. You need to pay for it. So I've got that, John. And what I can do is remove the guy's beard. If you want me to try that,
you can do that, Xander. Just get a picture of his eyes bulging like Tavernier. Honestly, when I look at him, I just think that's Marty Feldman, man. I like me Shinny. He's quite a strong wee player, and he's quite physical and all that. Seems a nice wee guy when he's interviewed and all that as well. Not against me, Graham Shinny.
No, I think he is a decent player still, but I think he was a better player in his younger years, John. I think his better days are behind him. Wee Shinny, I don't think he's not got the pace. He's still got a tackle in him. I just don't think he's the player that he was, and hopefully that continues in the Scottish Cup final.
Hopefully, maybe James Forrest flew past him the other night. That's how slow Shinny is.
Yeah, he's quite slow now, John. You're right.
But anyway, thanks for that, Roseanne. Give us a few things to, just by mentioning Tigers, you got us into Marty Feldman and stuff like that. Never thought talking about Tigers would lead me to talking about Graham Shinny.
Graham Shinny, yeah, he's Marty Feldman. Look out for that. We'll try and get that onto the next podcast, John. I'll try and get his beard removed and see if he looks like Marty Feldman. And by God, we hope he doesn't.
Marty Feldman's he's quite unique. Funny guy, but I love Marty Feldman.
He's unique. He's a brilliant wee guy, Marty Feldman. He's a hilariously funny. I think it was his face that more or less made him the comedian that he was, wasn't it? But no. Could be actor or no, actually.
I like him. I do like Marty Feldman. Yeah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Thanks, Roseanne. Next up was Matthew Beveridge. That's a name and a half, isn't it? Beveridge.
Yeah, I've heard that one before, actually. Beveridge has a second name.
Matthew Beveridge says, shocking tackle. I've already spoke about that, Matthew. It was brutal. I've run out of things to say about Big Papa. I just hope he gets his comeuppance in the final when Celtic are 4-0 up. Maybe somebody like Big Adam, either big physical player, can leave his mark on him.
Absolutely, John. It wasn't I know we've run out of time, right, but I want to have another wee word on it because it wasn't an isolated incident, John. I think Aberdeen players were leaving marks on Celtic players the entire game, John. And this guy saw the chance to leave a serious one on a Celtic player, John, and he took that chance right under the nose of Brendan Rodgers as well, John. No wonder he was so angry.
Oh, he was fuming, Brendan. We spoke about that guy enough, Xander. We gave him a lot of... But just to let everybody know, that's how we feel about it. And I'm still fuming with that. Our best player. No, I wouldn't say he's our best player. That's unfair to a lot of other players, but definitely our most technical player. And a bit of a maestro in the centre of that part for Celtic has been crippled by an absolute talentless thug. That's my final say.
Yeah, we're going to miss him in that final. 100% we're going to miss him, John. But hopefully we don't miss him too much, John. Okay, right, John. Any more comments?
I'll read through these quickly. You don't need to answer them because it's mostly on the same thing. Jason Logan. Jason says, well done, Brendan. Keep them going. Hail, hail. Tracy... What's that? Wildrum. Tracy's Wildrum. I don't know what that means. Fantastic result. Thanks, Tracy.
Cheers,
and then you've got Neil Fotheringham says, hope Hatate's okay. Glad for Kenny. And Rocky had a comfortable game and Ricardo looked comfy on the ball. Agree with all that, Neil?
Yeah, agree with it. Although Hatate isn't okay, unfortunately.
Aye, well, apart from Hatate, he did say he hopes he's okay. But no, Hatate isn't okay. You're right, Alexander. Possibly up to 3-4 months out. Shocking.
Yeah, disgusting.
Paul McCune with his usual well done Celtic and the Celtic ladies. He actually says, well done, the Celtic 5-1. He added that in.
Yeah, he's putting wee scores in now. It's that, but
I know, he's just trying to show off now. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers. Keep them coming in, pal.
Here's a username and a half. Elephantitis of the Nuts 1888 says.
Wow. Name and a half, eh?
That's a name and a half, aye. And he's got it in big capital letters as well. He says, the future's bright, the future's green and white. Let's hope Mikado can be the youngster who bucks the trend of moving for cash. We hope that. We want to see a youngster, Stein. I don't want to say that name again, but we want to see youngster Stein instead of moving on for cash. I totally agree with that, Xander. I hope we can see somebody make an impact from the youth system at Celtic into the first team at Celtic and become a superstar like Callum McGregor at Celtic.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Totally agree with that comment. Actually, a brilliant comment to finish it on, John, because you're Ben Dokes in this world. I've not got Celtic at heart, John. So we want players like Mikado to come through, stay at Celtic, stick around, and become a legend, John. That's what we're looking for from any youth player that breaks into the first team.
Well, this is it. We haven't seen it for a long time. Like, I'll leave the comments there, Xander. That's enough. There's a lot more comments, but we're running into an hour and 20 minutes. That's far too long.
There was a lot of comments on that, John. A lot of disgusted supporters with that, John.
Anyway, Mikado, we can only hope and pray that the wee guy makes it as a Celtic legend, because we haven't seen that for 15 years, Xander. It's time somebody stood up and became a Celtic legend from that youth system that we've got. I'm sure there's some cracking wee players in there busting to play for their boyhood heroes, you know?
Yeah, of course there is, John. And he's tried a few this season. He's tried a few different ones this season, but it looks as though Mikado is the one that's, standing out from the rest, shall we say. So we'll wait and see, John. Hopefully the wee young lad is on the bench on Saturday against St Mirren, John. Thanks for reading all them out, buddy. I appreciate that. It was quite a lot of comments to get through there. A lot of angry Celtic supporters. I mean, the anger shines through, even though we're about to lift the league trophy, John. We're going into a Scottish Cup final with a chance to win a treble. But they've just saw one of the superstars, crocked by an absolute animal, John. So that's why the comments were so full of, disgust, if you like, in that video. Right, John, let's wrap it up there. I appreciate you doing that for us, buddy, reading out all the comments. Good luck to Celtic on Saturday on Trophy Day. I think we'll be okay. We've both predicted high scoring wins for Celtic. So good luck to the champions. And remember, if you're going down to Glasgow Cross, just stay safe, everybody. Stay safe. Enjoy your party. Don't get involved in anything. Just stay safe. Enjoy the beautiful sunny scorching weather. Enjoy these beautiful, gloriously, successful times for Celtic. Enjoy every second of it, every minute of it. Nobody's taking anything for granted. Just enjoy every minute of it, John. Me final word for you, John, and we'll call it a day.
Just what we've already said, but you just says, just everybody enjoy themselves, keep safe. Just don't run into any trouble doing that way. There's going to be trouble doing that way if they're learn more about it, walking about, banging drums and stuff. So, everybody be alert and just stay safe and enjoy your day. Enjoy what you've been going to Celtic Park for all season, and that's lifting trophies and celebrating. Long may it continue.
Yeah, that's it, John. Okay, right, fair enough, John. Thanks for that. As you say, enjoy your day, everybody, and we'll catch you all on the post-match reaction. Hail, hail for now, folks.
Hail, hail. See you later, Xander.
See you later, John.